proposal, if passed, plans to invest in energy, education, and infrastructure while acknowledging the realities of the deficit and raising taxes on wealthy Americans to help pay for it. What are your views on the budget proposal? Mr. Acock.
I think the budget addresses very important issues, especially education, especially with energy. Energy and education is what's going to drive the future here. It's what's going to create the jobs. It's what's going to attract businesses here. And what he did for the nation is what's going to work here in Cameron County and here now in the 34th Congressional District. I think that what he did with the budget and working with Congress was a perfect example of what we can do here in the Valley. By working together, different groups of government, like say with the county, with the state, and with other local entities working together to create a budget, create a future for our area. That's exactly what we can do here. And I think that budget is a shining example, and I think what he did with it is excellent.
Thank you. Ms. Blanchard, would you like me to repeat the question?
Yeah, fine.
Okay.
I actually like the budget. I think it's a good starting point anyway. And it won't end up like that, but it's a good starting point. But I think that the areas that he's targeting are very critical. If we're to get this nation moving forward, we definitely need to work on the energy issue, which is right now, just in Texas alone, and with our new district being 34, Eagle Shell Ford is very, very critical. The energy industry is very important for job creation and job retention in our area. And if we're ever going to be independent from foreign oil, we need to explore and need to utilize our resources as we are trying to, in addition, trying to look for future alternative fuel sources. But we need to continue the drilling that we have now because that is creating a huge economic boom in Texas, and it will be in our district as well. So I totally agree with that. Infrastructure is key. In order to move people in places, people and goods, we need to have the infrastructure. I-69 is going to be a critical piece of infrastructure for South Texas. When companies and corporations begin to look at investing in your community, they look at a map. And what they look at those big blue lines that are interstate systems, because that time is money for them. And so interstate systems are very critical for being able to move the people and the goods. And so that infrastructure development that President Obama is talking about is very critical, particularly in areas like ourselves, our port industries. We need to create more docks so we can bring in more shipping industries. So I absolutely, totally agree with that. Education is extremely, very, very important. As people are talking that we need to reduce, and I think that where they are looking for some of those cuts is that there was a bill on the very 1% of our nation, the 1% that had the full tax cut. And we're told that, well, don't touch them because they're creating jobs. Really? They've had that tax cut for 6 years. Where are the jobs? So I say, let it roll back, and let's use the money for infrastructure, education, and economic development.